Rainlon here. Today's another build showcase, and it's Felarx. Felarx is a very powerful shotgun, mostly used for Incarnon boss fights. It chunks those fights really well. I haven't used this gun for quite a while, so I just tweaked it a little bit, and it's up to date. So let us immediately start. Starting with the mods. I'm using Galvanized Hell for multi-shot, kill stuff get even more multi-shot, Galvanized Chevy, status chance, direct damage per status on a target, Toxin Barrage, it's unranked for a purpose, I'll tell you why. This one gives you Toxin and status chance, chilling reload, cold and reload speed. So the reload speed doesn't work on the Incarnon version, but does work on the regular. And I find pretty much the regular one, the regular version, much stronger than the Incarnon. I see Incarnon better at clearing than single target DPS. So yeah, using chilling reload. If you like the Incarnon version, you can just use the other cold mod. It's Frigid Blast instead. And also status chance is quite low, especially after they reworked a couple of years ago the status on shotguns, the pellet system, which is an awful system. They should bring back the old status system for shotguns. But yeah, overall, I find this better than this, mostly because of the reload, and you will see why. Prime point blank, a lot of base damage. I want to use the semi mod, the brand new mod, but it doesn't work. This is automatic shotgun. Prime tactical pump gives you 100% reload speed, makes it reload really fast. With chilling reload, it's even bigger, faster technically, and yeah, this is pretty much for me personally mandatory to make my DPS count faster. Shotgun Elementalist, status damage, magazine capacity. I used to use, primed ammo stock for 110 magazine capacity, for a lot more damage overall, so I spend more time shooting than reloading. But then this came out and gives it even more damage to slash procs and gives a 60 mag, so I'm absolutely fine with this. And sweeping serration, for 120% slash damage. I want my slash to be number 1, so when I shoot my gun to proc slash more often than viral or anything else. You don't need to use this, you can use something else, but I will recommend, so you can proc some disgusting slash procs. If you don't want to, you can use something completely different. You can use a Riven, you can use Vigilant Ornaments, you can use a Bane mod, you can use Blaze, you can use Hunter Munition instead, that's also fine. I mean, not really, doesn't have a really good critical chance, ignore that. I don't know, there's so many things. Vicious Spread, I mean, that's horrible, don't use that as well. I don't know, it's all up to you. Or Bane or Riven, that's something I would recommend. Or Blaze? Yeah, Blaze for damage and heat damage, to have another element for your Shotgun Elementalist to increase your dots. So yeah, those are pretty much the mods I'm using. The Arcane, primary deadhead. On headshot kills, you get 120, stacks up 3 times, that's 360% increased damage with a headshot multiplier, and you're going to be shooting heads. And also the 50% weapon recoil does help it a lot, makes it less annoying. And this is another mod, Arcane, that I'll highly recommend. So yeah, these are the stats. So now I'm gonna show you the evolutions. The first revolution, everybody has the first revolution locked, it's the transformation, so we will ignore that. The second revolution, weapon recoil, so now the weapon has 100% weapon recoil, so it has no recoil at all. Reload toggle to weapon between 100 projectile speed or 4 meter punch through, so this pretty much every time you reload, you're going to switch between the 100 projectile speed or punch through. It's quite nice. It does synergize both with the Incarnon and non-Incarnon. The plus 20% status chance, negative critical chance, because it has the same evolution as the Fenmore, which is the 50% chance to deal 2000% damage to non-critical hits. The 2000% is a separate damage compared to galvanize Shavy and Deadhead. That's something you should know. So this doesn't like add up after Shavy and Deadhead. This is like a separate damage that you will do when this procs. But overall it's very good. It does increase your damage by a lot. Something I highly recommend. Another thing, what I said at the beginning, if you don't like to use this, you don't care about slash, use a Riven. I highly recommend finding a Riven that has negative critical chance. The reason why you want negative critical chance, just because of this mod right here, evolution, which is 50% chance to deal 2000 damage on non-critical hits. So it's not really 50% chance because we have a 10% to crit, so it's much less of the odds. And having a Riven giving it negative critical chance all the way up to 0% critical chance makes this more consistent and your damage quite bigger and more consistent. And that's something I recommend. Or a Bane. So it's all up to you, like I said. And yeah, these are pretty much the evolutions I'm using. Time for me to show you in game. This weapon doesn't really need any buffer Warframes, it chunks anything. So I'm gonna spawn a regular Star Shard, enemies, non-steel path, and you will see it just eradicates everything in one hit. Yeah, there you go. They had no chance. Punch through as well. Yep, there you go. It's very, very powerful. You can see on the top right when I shoot, you can see it switches between two buffs. The dual mode chamber or they're both called dual mode chambers. One is the punch through one is the projectile speed. The projectile speed does work on this, which is quite nice. Or the punch through, it's all up to you. Or if you're lucky to get one of those in situations. So now I'm gonna spawn 195, a Arcane Battle group, and you will see that you're just going to annihilate them as well. Just one-shot them, proccing powerful dots. And now if I use my Incarnate, which is the alternative fire, middle mouse, you can see that the damage does fall off when you use the Incarnate, but you have a punch through and kind of a wider spread, which is quite nice. For low level missions or in general use, you can use this instead of the regular shotgun, mostly because you don't need to reload all the time and has quite a good amount of shots. It does chunk a lot, and if you're dealing with Incarnate bosses or some tough enemies, you can just go back to the regular mode, shoot them in the head, and yeah, it's very powerful. It's one of the strongest shotguns in the game. This is something that I constantly see people use against the Arcane fights. It annihilates things. You don't need to proc statuses on them, and every status you proc they get more survivability because of the adaptation system. But because this chunks and it does a lot of damage, and they just ignore that at all. And yeah, that's my Felarx build. I hope you enjoy. Thank you everybody for watching. Please leave a like, it will help me out a lot, and see you all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.